what's up guys? Talking movies with us here. Back again for another movie review of a movie that we have been anticipating for a long time now.
Yep.
The new Netflix original movie, Death Note, which is of course
based on an anime from the early 2000s and also a manga book. So Death Note is basically about a book, the Death Note. It falls from the sky. A boy named Light finds it, comes across it, and he starts reading the rules that are written inside the book, and he basically has the power to kill anybody.
all he has to do is picture that person in his mind and know his name, write it down, and he could kill him in a number of ways. Possibilities are endless.
There's so much I want to talk about.
Yeah, so all the stuff we just described, killer book, falls from the sky, anime was brilliant.
The best anime I've ever watched in my life.
Should make for a pretty awesome movie, right? If you just break it down into... No! Not the case. The biggest reason I was hyped for this film was for the fact of Adam Wingard. Now, we're pretty big fans.
Love him.
I absolutely adore Your Next. I think
Love Your Next.
I love everything about that film. One of my favorite horror films in the last friggin' 10 years.
The Guest.
The Guest, another one.
Is a genius.
Is a beautifully done, awesome movie, cult movie, great. And then we hit the Blair Witch.
Which I didn't hate.
Which, it wasn't great, but it was okay. It was not bad. And now this was just a major, major drop-off from all of those films. And wow.
Let me just put out a disclaimer. I usually dislike people who cannot separate a film from a book.
Yes.
And vice versa or whatever. So if something is based off something, I try to go into it with a completely open mind so that I'm not sitting there comparing this, comparing that, comparing this. But this was rough. It was rough to sit through this, and I'm thoroughly disappointed.
And we know it's hard to take 37 episodes and cram it into an hour and 45-minute, 2-hour movie. You're not going to be able to include every point, every fact, every character trait. It's just impossible. But you could pay these characters a little bit of respect, and this is just, wow, it was a stinker.
I will say that if I had never watched the anime, for my opinion, I might have enjoyed this movie a little bit more, just because I wouldn't know the detail and the thought that actually went into the original anime. Alright, so things that we did like. Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, the best part of the movie, by far. He looked awesome. He sounded awesome, of course, and he really did sound like Ryuk from the original anime, because I did watch it. We watched it dubbed. We did not watch subbed.
He was literally lifted from that anime and placed into this movie. Although, I would have liked to see him in the light a little more. I don't know if that's because the effects weren't all that great, or they were practical, or he didn't look as good in the light. Maybe they were trying to hide him a little bit.
But, you know, every time you did see him, he was so, like, engulfed in a shadow. Yeah. Which maybe they were doing on purpose, but I would have liked to see him.
Yeah, he was great. And
there were some cool shots. The cinematography, some of it was kind of cool to look at. There were a few songs that I thought were okay. The ones that didn't have any vocals. There was a chase scene between Elle and Light that I thought was actually done pretty well. Didn't make any sense because of the character. Elle is not somebody who's gonna go start chasing somebody through the street.
Yes. So my only positive would be Willem Dafoe. Everything else this movie was garbage to me.
Well, you liked the dad, the actor.
Oh yeah, I think his name is Shea Wingham. He's like a big HBO guy. He's on a ton of HBO shows, and he's a very good character actor. I did like his casting choice. That was a good one. But other than that, I mean, the biggest issues for me was the casting. Light was awful in this movie. His performance was terrible in my opinion, and just does absolutely no justice to the character in the original anime whatsoever.
In the anime, he is an absolute genius. He is always 5 steps ahead of the
10 steps ahead of every move, you know?
And he's so calm and collective, and this Light was such a teenager. He was so whiny.
And the motivation for the Death Note in the original anime, the original motivation is to try to solve all the crime in the world and for the world to be a better place. Sure, in the anime he gets carried away with it.
Yeah.
But in this movie, it's to impress a girl and to get in a girl's pants.
So it did start off, in the movie, his mother dies. His mother gets hit by a car, the guy goes to jail, but then he gets set free and now he's out. So of course, the first person that Light is gonna kill is that guy. And that is fine.
That works.
That works. And the first few times that he killed somebody, it was criminals, and he kept going and kept going. But then it really was just to keep this girl on his shoulder.
I mean, this review is basically going to be comparing one to the other, because it just, we know, like we said, it can't be exact, but there's just these glaring character problems.
I feel like they just took the idea of the Death Note and made an entirely new movie.
Yes.
Which I guess is okay, but
if the movie was good.
If the movie
was good, I'll throw all of this out the window, but the movie was not good. Like Light, right? Like you said. Cool, calm, collected, 10 steps ahead of everybody.
Very smart.
And he's a genius, super genius, and very in love with himself, self-absorbed. In this movie, whiny, very
looking for attention,
very reactionary, very sloppy, just.
He showed Mia the Death Note within the first, like, 3 seconds. Was like, hey, you want to see what this does?
Yeah, look at my Death Note. Look, I write a name and it kills people. And she goes, really?
Let me see.
Wow. You know, like, normally you would see, like, some disbelief, like, in the real world. Like, no, it can't be. It's impossible. She buys into it in 3 seconds flat. And it's like, oh,
and
cool.
And then she becomes, like, obsessed.
And then they're, like, a team. Like, this weird team.
They're, like, making out as they're killing people. And I couldn't get into it.
Such a bad taste in my mouth.
I couldn't get into it. And in the anime, he uses Mia like a pawn perfectly.
Oh, of course.
He's so smart with how he, you know, gets her to basically do whatever he wants to get things done so that they stop looking at him as a suspect.
Yes.
So I also want to say another positive thing is L. He was really good. I really did like him, except at the end when he did go a little cuckoo.
L was fine. His casting was fine. He really did get the mannerisms like that you see in the anime.
Yes.
He has all the quirks and all the.
His voice was very similar.
Very similar. Got that down pat. Just
the fact that he was eating snacks.
Like his character climax towards the end of the film is. You know,
he goes nuts.
The great things about L in the anime, L and Light are very similar in the original anime. And L in the anime is always cool, calm, and collected. And he faces a lot of setbacks in the anime.
Yes.
But he always finds a way, you know, to outsmart something or to rewire it, reconfigure everything. And in this, he just goes to complete extremes, car chases, shooting guns, and just over the top and so not L, you know?
I know, it just was not L, not L.
To go back to comparing back and forth, and the reason why I'm a fan of remakes and adaptations from other countries, and we always get complaints of whitewashing this, and Ghost in the Shell had a lot of issues. The whitewashing, all it is taking fantastic source material and bringing it to a new audience. And I have absolutely no problem with that.
And when I saw the first trailer for this, I actually was really excited. I was like, this actually doesn't look bad at all.
And once you hear Adam Wingard, man, talented filmmaker involved, I mean...
It was just, I mean, overall, this movie is just, for us, very disappointing.
Very sloppily done. They pass through plot points, very important character moments in like a montage.
And I feel like maybe it wasn't the right idea to create a movie. Maybe they could have stuck with the idea of a show
with the actors and
put out seasons, because that would have even better.
Yes,
they could have slowed down. They could have breathed a little bit and told the story in a more respectful way.
It felt like they were throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what was gonna stick. Yeah, just total letdown.
I've just seen what people are kind of writing on Facebook here and there. No spoilers, obviously, but I mean, a lot of them are right. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think.
Yes.
And let us know what you liked better. If you didn't see the anime, maybe you did like the movie.
But here's what I will say. If you liked this movie in any way, shape, or form, and if you think we're crazy, do yourself a favor and watch the anime as soon as you can. because you will know exactly what we are talking about.
I mean, maybe we're being too critical.
Maybe we are, or maybe we just love the anime
I love the anime so much. Thought it was absolutely genius. I could not stop watching it.
This movie was just a shell, a very light
It was scratching
shell.
the surface.
You could have just took the title of this movie and the names of the characters, called it Death Note with all the same character names, but if it was a decent movie based around the same idea, even if it was totally different like this movie is,
it still would have gotten hate, don't get me wrong.
it would have gotten hate, but I could forgive it if it was good.
Right.
And at least make the characters
interesting.
this, like, kind of similar. And I'm not talking about looks-wise or race. I'm just talking about mentality. One of the cool things about this movie was how you see these death scenarios play out. Like someone getting decapitated, it's very graphic, you see it all.
That first death, I turned to you, I was like, oh my god.
I was like, alright, now maybe this is gonna get going a little bit.
I know.
If they would have made it
graphic.
If they would have made it into a straight up horror film called Death Note, it would have with this kind of gore, I would have taken it, you know? Alright, what are you gonna grade it?
Oh man, I don't know if I should be nice or if I should just completely rip it apart, but I'm on the fence. I guess I'm gonna give it a C- in the fact that I liked L and I liked Ryuk, I liked Willem Dafoe, and that's about it.
Okay.
So C-.
I'm gonna give this thing a D. I'll give it a D, almost an F. A D because Ryuk was awesome. The gore effects were really cool, and L was good for three-quarters of the movie.
3/4 of the movie.
But
and we might get a lot of hate for this review, but that's just how we feel.
So passionate about the anime and just wanted this one to be at least
a good adaptation, but I wanted so much more from it.
Alright guys, that is our take on the new Death Note. Let us know if you agree with us down below.
Or if you disagree. I mean, I have seen a few people say that they thoroughly enjoyed it.
And like we said, if you enjoyed this movie and you haven't seen the anime,
please watch the anime.
Please watch the anime.
So, yep, that's it. Give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome videos.
And if you guys have made it this far, we are doing a giveaway. If you don't know,
giving away Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Steelbook.
Link is in the description, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you later.